How's it guys, Munash here, and today we have some rank 3 7-star Mr. Negative Alliance War gameplay. So I actually took him up a couple of days ago before the season ended, and this was the first time we saw a Kate Bishop ban, who has been my main champ since Sugarpull started, because I usually run Path 5 and her abilities just make a very good counter for those nodes in general. On top of being a decay attacker, she can take pretty much any Sugarpull defender on this path, so I usually take most of my path fights with her and sometimes even all of them. But this time that was not an option, so I decided to switch back to Negative, a champ I haven't used a whole lot during the Sugarpull saga, just because decay champs are so overpowered, especially Kate. I mean, Ascended, she just tears through these fights, and she only needs 1 or 2 special ones, whereas Negative needs a special 3, sometimes a special 2, so he's not as fast. But he's still a viable counter for many of these fights. In fact, I think he's the one non-decay attacker in the entire game that actually gets better against Sugarpull, just because the placebos give you more buffs to convert to light energy, which can help with your ramp up and power control. So with Kate banned, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to break in the 7-star. So I was quite excited for this war, because Negative is still relatively new to my roster as a 7-star. I only pulled him about 3 weeks ago, and then a few days afterwards I took him to rank 2. And I haven't really played with him all that much. I did some Acropolis stuff, but besides that, not a whole lot of use besides a few battleground matchups here and there, which I'm still very behind on, but I'm sure I will eventually catch up. And now he's rank 3, going into Alliance War against a fairly stacked defense. I took 6 fights this war, and they were all either against Ascended 6-stars or rank 3 7-stars. So we are starting with a Node 5 Chavez, and this is a perfect way to start, I'd say, because this is one of the fights I've done the most in Alliance War, period. In fact, this is probably the fight I've done with Negative the most in Alliance War. Pretty popular placement, because she has ebb and flow knockdown and right back at it, so she goes debuff immune when you knock her down, which means you can't parry stun her unless it's a passive stun, which makes her more likely to throw heavy attacks, get those dimensions up, and make the fight just go out of control. But the nice thing about Negative is he doesn't actually need to knock her down until the special 3, which is usually what ends the fight. But this time I did not drop a heavy attack to increase the damage before the special 3, because I just wanted to squeeze it in before the dark energy expired. So it only took her down to 2%, so still not bad without any extra damage. But the one thing I loved about this fight in particular is that Chavez never gained a bar of power, while I was able to gain 3, just because I had so many buffs to convert, and plus the hurt synergy gives you a 50% chance to get a 2-second innovate whenever you convert, so I had so much power control. It always felt like a very safe fight. And now we have a matchup I haven't actually taken with Negative before, Jessica Jones with ebb and flow knockdown and heavy hitter. Not the typical Negative fight, but I figured it should still work well, just because I don't need to worry about anything after I drop my special 3. However, I did get some very annoying AI here, where she decided to ignore my heavy attack until I dropped it so I couldn't evade in time, and then she punished me for it. Oh, and there's also aggression precision, so I take some 11k crits. I really hope they stop doing this when AI gets fixed, if it ever gets fixed, because I'm honestly losing faith at this point. But anyway, after the final conversion, I dropped the heavy attack, get the passive fury and a fury buff, so the special 3 should do more than enough to take her out. But I just wanted to make sure, because even though I did more damage before the special 3 compared to the Chavez fight, this Jessica does have slightly more health than the rank 3 Chavez, and no class disadvantage. So besides the annoying AI to begin with, I was quite happy with that one. And moving on to section 2, we have a Werewolf by Night, 6-star Ascended on ebb and flow Intercept and Sadist. So I'm gonna use Cap for this one, who by the way is rank 2 now. Funny how I said to J-Wool, aka Jason and Jabari Gaming, that I don't think I'll take him to rank 2. But Sugarpull happened, Decay happened, and he happened to be a very solid counter for a certain annoying Sasquatch placement. So I'm using Cap over Negative here, because I just felt it's a bit safer. I probably could do it with Negative and it would be a much faster fight, but I thought between the glancing and Cap being Decay means I don't take any damaging debuff damage, so his ruptures will basically just keep me at full health for the entire fight. The only annoying thing here, well besides trying to get off quick intercepts, is my crit rate. Like, I don't know what's been going on lately, but my Cap has not been critting all that much on the special 2s, which makes a very big difference, because instead of doing say 60k damage from one special 2, you'd be doing 170k, more than double, almost triple in fact. So that makes the fight go a lot faster and you get a lot of power back with those big special 2 crits. But today I had no special 2 crits, so this fight took a little bit longer than I would have liked. But overall a very safe fight with Cap and pretty straightforward if you know how to fight Werewolf. I know some people find his special 1 quite annoying, so for dealing with that I just block the first hit because it gives you a lot of pushback. Then I can outrange the rest without triggering Dex, so no MD. Although I do have the Withers from Decay to help deal with that. I'm just more used to fighting him on nodes that make him debuff immune. So he goes down, not the fastest fight for this node, but at least it was a clean one. Now moving on to node 32, Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge. We have an Ascended Absorbing Man. Very good matchup for negative. I just need one big special 3 to wipe him out. Even with one somewhat big, slightly above average, a bit more than medium special 3 can get the job done if you optimize the damage throughout the fight. So I do like to intercept early and regularly whenever I don't have the passive fury, just so I'm hitting harder. And I'll try to limit the amount of special attacks he throws, just to reduce the amount of times he gets to regen. So in this fight I think I only baited 2 special 2s, and I heavy punished the second one because it did refine his form. And it's also important to make sure that when you throw the special 3 he is not in Uru form, because his physical resistance will reduce the actual hit damage. But the red numbers are direct damage, so there's no resisting that at least. It's just nice to optimize if you really want to make sure you take him out in one special 3, whatever his health is at. I could have also parry heavied before the special 3 to do even more damage with the fury buff, but at that point his health was already way too low to survive the special 3, so I didn't think it was needed. Just the direct damage alone would have done about 231,000 damage. Add the hit damage and you're doing about 278,800 damage, which is almost his entire health pool. So not bad with negative, and now we have 2 mini-bosses to deal with. The first one is gonna be the big one. We have a rank 3 7-star Sasquatch on node 38, Ebb and Flow Knockdown, right back at it, and Aggression Prowess. A fight I've been doing quite a lot this season. In fact, the first time I saw a rank 3 7-star Sasquatch placed here was the day I took Cap to rank 2. Last season we used Stealth Spidey with the Scorpion synergy a lot here, but sometimes he's banned and I can't always fit Scorpion in the team. Probably could still do it without synergy, but I just feel safer using Cap, especially at rank 2. And I also finally have the Spidey 99 relic, which really makes a difference for this fight. Since you tend to do a lot of dexing, I mean you kind of have to dex your special 1, at least that last hit, especially during Wrath, because it can stun you through your block. Usually dexing isn't an issue for decay attackers, because you do have access to slow, just to replace a few debuffs and then knock them down. But he does go debuff immune when you knock him down, so you can't really rely on slow. So whenever the buff from dexing expires, he does have a chance to go unstoppable. Not a big chance, but it does happen fairly regularly. The only nice thing is it does take a little bit of time for the buff to actually expire after hitting him, so you can still do one hit and then back off before you can retaliate. I also lost my invulnerability boost fairly early in this fight by sneakily getting caught while I was trying to dash back. But I think the biggest thing that let me down once again was just how appalling the special 2 crit RNG was. There were no special 2 crits from Cap in this fight. In this war in fact. So at this point I was getting pretty annoyed because now I've done 4 fights in a row with Cap without seeing a single special 2 crit. Because I used him in the previous war and the same thing happened. And that just makes the fight drag on a bit because he also has that healing when he hits 40%. On top of the damage resistance from the rage stacks and playing around Wrath and him being unstoppable when he throws special attacks and heavies can make this fight a little bit tedious. And then you also add the block damage from Aggression Prowess, and him having block penetration as a 7-star kind of makes Cap's high block proficiency look like a normal champs. Unfortunately, I sometimes have to choose between avoiding the special block damage or avoiding triggering Dex. I did throw some special attacks with just 4 kinetic charges instead of the full 5, just because it was more convenient to do so at times. cause getting to 5 would need just one more parry, but what if I can't really parry him in time, like the Fury's about to expire, or he gains more rage stacks so the damage gets reduced either way, or he could go unstoppable so it might not be safe to land a hit afterwards. But I try to make sure I at least have 4 charges with the Fury from the knockdown node and my heavy attack. So this fight took a lot longer than I would have liked it to. In fact, I think this is my longest Sasquatch fight on this node. And it's funny because the first time I took a rank 3 here, the fight lasted 80 seconds. I got a lovely special 2 crit, he cooperated very nicely, and it was just a beautiful day. Well, I guess it still is because he does go down eventually, and more importantly, I have a rank 3 negative now. Like, need I say any more? Just the fact that I finally have this champ at 7-star rank 3 level and got to bring him to war made this a great day for me. In fact, I was even contemplating using him for this fight, because at least he wouldn't have to worry about dexing or triggering unstoppable. It would just be a matter of out-damaging him while not getting hit in the process. But like I said, I have done this fight with Cap many times in less than 90 seconds, so decided to stick with what's been tried and tested. So he's about to go down, and I remember looking at the time in my health and thinking, what just happened in this fight? Like, did that actually take 3.5 minutes? I was so glad it was finally over. That was probably the most annoying fight I had all season. But anyway, now we have one more fight, which is gonna be Gorr on node 42. Another very common placement because he has inevitable power efficiency, make a stand, one eye open, and overwhelming odds. Great matchup for the hood. The only thing is I did not use an advanced power boost, and I didn't have the greatest power steal RNG from my first invisibility, and he did throw a special 1 before I got to my special 2, which gave him a lot of buffs, which means when I eventually throw my special 2, I'm gonna gain a little bit too much power because I still had max MD, so now I have to throw a special 3, which is not the end of the world. It just means I might have to bait a special 2, which isn't bad while invisible because I can miss most of the hits that are difficult to dex. And in this fight I pushed him to 3 bars of power twice, but I was able to power steal before he could throw the special 3. And I did have invulnerability active, so I wasn't too worried about getting hit by the special 3. But after the special 2, I felt like the fight was pretty secure. I had the Fate Seal on and I was able to hood cycle him. So activate invisibility, drop 2 more special 2s and then let him dash at me before finishing him off with a heavy attack. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this one. Pretty fun war for me. Well, besides that rank 3 Sasquatch, it just felt great to use a boosted rank 3 negative. So yeah, I hope you found it interesting, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.